But it was very interesting speaking in Poland, especially given the reaction that I got to a lot of the things that I said. In fact, I spoke at the closing ceremony, and it was the 19th anniversary of this conference, and I was the main on the main panel that ended the event. And of the people who were on the podium with me, I'm the only one who actually spoke where the audience, broke out in spontaneous applause on several occasions. I was part of a panel. But where they applauded was when I was talking, negatively about the government's role in the economic crisis, when I talked about the Federal Reserve, when I talked about what the government was doing with the stimulus and with the bailouts. And that's when I got applause. And when I defended capitalism, when I defended the free markets, I got applause. And I was the only person really doing that. I mean, again, the person who was not blaming the economic crisis on some failure of, regulators to do their jobs, that we just didn't have enough regulation and we had greedy capitalism run amok. I was talking about the reality of what happened, and I was getting a lot of applause. And remember that 20 years ago, this was a communist country. Poland was communist. And here you have a lot of Poles understand freedom and capitalism. And a lot of people came up and talked to me, and people who were reading, von Mises and, real Austrian economists, and people who really believe in these principles and want their government, to be even smaller and to continue with free market reforms. It was interesting. I spoke to a woman at the conference who was helping to organize it, and she was in the car driving me to the train station. And, we were talking about taxes, and, they had to get, they were paying me a fee to speak there, and they had to, clear it so that I would pay no Polish taxes, so that I would just be paying U.S. income taxes. And when I told her how high the income taxes were in this country, she really couldn't believe it. She was kind of shocked that the taxes in America were so much higher than what they were in Poland. And, this is not where we want to be. We don't want to be the high tax, high regulation, big government economy. Because, there's a lot going on outside the United States. A lot's going on in Europe. A lot's going on in Asia. And if we're just going to be alone in this march, deeper, down the road to serfdom, if we're going to keep on piling on more government while the rest of the world is getting rid of their government, I mean, this is going to be one enormous hole that we are in the process of digging for ourselves. Also,